friends, if we start talking to each other and say, isn't it enough already? I mean, how did Bnei Yisrael get out of the slavery of Avodah Zarah to money of Mitzrayim? How did it happen that in the space of about a year after Moshe Rabbeinu came to Mitzrayim, the people was ready to go out of Mitzrayim? It surely was because people spoke to each other. People spoke to each other and started coming to awaken out of decades of slavery to say, look, my dear brother, my dear sister, let's think about what's really going on in the world that we are living in, and let's see what me and my little family with my little set of friends, and you and your family and your set of friends could do to actually think ourselves into something better, something new.
Well, it seems to me like progress is only driven by malcontent. So if you're going to preach a philosophy of contentment, you're not going to make progress. So you have to be discontent, and you want more and generate more and get people to want more, and this will generate new inventions and more things. So that's how you get the physical, you get more progress in the physical realm. So where do you draw the fine line? I mean, you want better, you want easier.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm discontented about. I'll tell you what I'm discontented about. I'm discontented that I have not yet made a siyum of the Talmud Yerushalmi. I'm discontented that I never yet made it through the Kisvei Arizal. I'm discontented about many Sfarim. I'm discontented that I have not had the time to pay attention to all the Masechtas I would like to. And I think what this teaching was saying about the concept of the placenta of the mule, which is emblematic of the source of the Shefa, which is the Torah, if we can persuade people to forget their material discontents and to work more on what they're lacking spiritually, this would maintain a go to progress. Only the progress will be spiritual progress. It's not that everybody needs to eat, so there's always an incentive to make parnasa. But one of the problems with this culture we live in is that the whole television entertainment, CD, iPod, MP3 culture has just bewitched people and hypnotized people and made people indifferent to the real treasures of Torah. I mean, how can you take kids who have grown up in a world of sort of instant music, instant, wherever you are, you've always got earphones on, you're always watching something. How can you get kids to appreciate a Gemara, a Midrash, a Pasuk? This culture is blitzing people's minds out of existence, and there's a huge work to just...
This technology can bring tremendous amounts of Torah if it's used properly.
And it does. I mean, Baruch Hashem, there's people sitting on the subway listening to Shirim, listening to Daf Yomi, listening to this class, and on YouTube, the Torah class, and all of the... It's our struggle and our work to actualize these ideas. It's not enough for it to be in Reb Nachman's book. We've got to work on it to actually tell it to those who have children, those who have friends, those who have a circle of people they can influence.
I guess just bouncing off what he was saying, I think what you're trying to say is the source then of technological advancement in this world, where does that stem from? Like, essentially. In other words, if the entire world kind of just engages into and focuses on their spiritual development, will that necessarily kind of spill into the physical realm and kind of from there, has the world advanced technologically?
Well, sure it will. I mean, today the media are dominated by the engine for maximized material profit and material enjoyment. I mean, the television is all financed by advertising, and advertising is all designed to drive the economic machine. The actual source of the technology is overall, like the Holy Zohar says, that in the year 600 of Noah's life, the windows of heavens will be opened. In the year 1840, the beginning of that was when the windows of the heavens were opened intellectually with all the huge advances. I mean, think of it. The railways and the radio, the telephone, then more recently the personal computer, the mobile phone. We've just seen this exponential Now, of course, the so-called advanced world has used all this mainly for commercial profit and gain.
So what was the military purpose of Moharan?
The military purposes, I mean, that is also to make money. I mean, the people who own all the armaments factories and most of the technological developments that have come down to the public today all derive from the military, like navigation in cars, like camera technology, you name it. It's funny, it all is driven. But I mean, the military industrial complex is all. It's you know, the Edom, money and the sword. That is wealth and with the sword to back it up. And what is the military for? It's to ensure that the oil resources will remain under control of this country, and that the other resources. It's all about money and power. But it was given into the world by HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the Lahagdil Torah La'adir, in order to use it for Torah. And people are struggling to do that. I mean, the great communications networks, the CNNs and the Foxes and so on, are bent on what they're doing. But all these little worker bees, like Reb David with his efforts to get Torah onto the internet, and the other people are trying to use this technology for Torah. They're struggling against a huge stream of Sitra Achra. But this is the very essence of the battle, trying to take what God has given for us in the contemporary world and use it for the sake of Torah.
Thank you so much.
It's good to be back in New York. Thank you for taking part.